Every town or city has its own urban legends, stories that you grow up hearing over and over that have been passed down through generations. The more the story is told, the more elaborate and unbelievable it becomes, like a game of telephone. But there's usually also a grain of truth behind every urban legend, and oftentimes the true story is more interesting than the legend itself. For many years, the residents of Beaver County in western Pennsylvania told stories about a man nicknamed Charlie No-Face, also known as the Green Man, who was often spotted walking down a lonely stretch of Route 351 at night. A lot of people thought of him as a boogeyman or a ghost, but the true story behind his identity might surprise you. So the legend of Charlie No-Face goes like this. A group of teenagers are driving down a dark road one night when they decide to try and give themselves a scare. They drive into an old abandoned railroad tunnel, which the locals have nicknamed the Green Man Tunnel. They turn off the car lights and wait. It isn't long before they hear footsteps and strange whining in the darkness. The footsteps get closer and closer until the teens become too scared and turn the lights back on. Standing near the car is a man with no eyes, nose, and a twisted, deformed mouth. The teens drive away in a panic, with Charlie No-Face chasing after them. They still hear his screams as they drive out of the tunnel and into the night. It's pretty scary stuff, but the real Charlie No-Face was actually the opposite of the monster that the legend came to portray. His real name was Raymond Robinson, and he was a longtime resident of Beaver County. In 1919, when Raymond was just 8 years old, he was playing with his friends near an old trolley bridge. They saw a bird's nest on the bridge, and Raymond climbed up to see what was inside after being dared to do it by another boy. While climbing the bridge, he came in contact with wires carrying 22,000 volts of electricity. He was severely burned, and doctors didn't think he would survive. In fact, another boy had died recently by being electrocuted on that same bridge. But against all odds, he did survive, and he lived for quite a long time, until the age of 74. Unfortunately, the accident left him severely disfigured. His face looked as if it had been melted. He lost his eyes, his nose, and one arm. Raymond was mostly a recluse who spent almost all of his time with his family. He enjoyed making leather goods like wallets and belts, and listening to the radio. He also liked to hike at night when he could venture out more inconspicuously. This is how the urban legend started. People would see him walking down the road at night and come up with all kinds of stories about him. Some would even stop to chat and have a beer with him. By all accounts, he was a really nice guy who was well loved by the people who knew him. Unfortunately, he was also hit several times by cars and often mocked by outsiders. This didn't stop him from taking his walks though. He continued doing it for decades. He passed away on June 11th, 1985, and he's buried in Grandview Cemetery, just over the hill from the bridge where he was electrocuted as a child. If you liked this video, please subscribe to Crypticc for more.